Good morning, you guys. I think you are getting up later and later because at the time to start the class, we had only 3 students on. Give me a break, you guys. You have to wake up earlier. Felipe, come on. What's wrong with you, man? This week, good morning. Today, I can see what you guys are typing on the chat because the screen is moved directly at me. So as you guys type, I'm going to read it. So I can see that Philip is on, David is on, Guilherme is on, Gabi is on. So I'm watching the messages. If the guys don't break it. Se os meninos não quebrarem nos próximos segundos a tela todinha, porque eles estão cutucando, eu vou ficar olhando as mensagens de vocês direto. Let us pray. And I'll tell you, the reason I have my cell phone here in my hand is that today we're going to start a unit about music. And I love music, and I wanted to start the class with you guys listening to music. Because we can't really show it from the internet, because we get strikes out from YouTube, I have it on my cell phone. I wanted to play a song for you guys. So pretend this is playing on the back of your heads. It's not me. It's in the class. It's playing. Tá funcionando não, microfone? Aha! So today we're going to start a unit on music, you guys. So I chose one of my favorite songs so that you guys can get inspired to talk about your favorite songs, okay? I prefer the version with Sean Paul singing, right? Don't you guys prefer it with Sean Paul? Okay, that's enough. It was just for you to get inspired. Thank you, boys. Guys, are you there? Because I don't see any messages coming anymore. You stopped at hello. You said good morning, and that was that. So, today, we're going to finish the unit. If not now, when? And then we're going to start working on a new unit on music. Okay? Where are you people? Say something. Scream yes, anything. What? Yeah? Sorry. People say I'm talking too loud. I'm sorry, guys. I'm loud. Sorry. I'll talk low. Anyway. Okay, so today we're going to finish our unit, if not now when, and then we're going to start a unit that's called It Hits Me, to talk about hits, okay? So anyway, let's get to business. Gabriel is here, and so is Lucas. Today we have 2 boy assistants, okay? So Gabriel, can you please move on to the first slide? Lucas, eu acho que tem alguma coisa errada, não botaram mais nada, nem assim, fale mais baixo. Vieram lá de fora dizer para eu falar mais baixo, e vocês não disseram para eu falar mais baixo? There's something wrong here. Yesterday evening, I got the most beautiful, there we go. You guys, people are saying I'm talking too loud. What? Like this? Okay, so don't believe the other people. I don't talk too loud. Do I? Sorry about that. Anyway, yesterday I got the most beautiful email. I'm excited. I love music, and we have a whole unit about music. And this is something that I wanted to set with you guys. Now I'm seeing good mornings arriving. Yes, Gabs, Lucia. I got a beautiful email yesterday evening. It made me so happy with Luisa's homework, the one we're going to correct today. Now, you're the one. Okay, thank you so much, Luisa. You guys keep in touch. Anyway, as I was saying, because we're going to start a unit on music, I was planning on, doing one of those activities where you have to identify the lyrics to a song and so on. But if we do it on YouTube, It doesn't work because they strike us out for playing the video. So next week, we can have one of the classes as a live scenario, and then the second class, we can have it as a meet in order for you guys to see the video that I want to show. And maybe you guys are going to show also some of your favorite videos, okay? Because then if we do it inside Meet, we won't be struck out. And if we do it here, they don't allow us to show videos, okay? So that's a date. That's something we're going to set later on. First things first, we're going to do the homework correction from last class. The one about the present perfect continuous, okay? And if you have any questions, we can discuss those questions. And then we're going to finish this unit on Be the Change. Okay? Good morning, Ivna. As I was saying today, the guys put the messages onto me so that I can read as you type in. We're going to see how that works, but I'm hopeful it's going to work. Anyway, for the exercise, for the homework, do you guys have it there? Your books opened? It's not bom dia, you guys. It's good morning. Come on. It's the only time in the week you guys get to say good morning. But anyway, so open your book so that we can correct the homework, okay? So it says, put the verbs into present perfect continuous. This one is easy, because we don't have to decide between present perfect and present perfect continuous. They have already said they want present perfect continuous. So present perfect continuous structure is easy, right? You have the subject, then you must have the verb have, then been, and then a verb in ing form, okay? So for example, for the first sentence, he has been working at the store since 2018. He has been working. For letter B, I have been waiting for Lana since 4 o'clock. C, Mary hasn't been living in Canada since January. Why is he so tired? He has been playing volleyball for 5 hours. How long have you, and then you have to change because it's a question, right? How long have you been learning Russian? We have been looking for my keys. Sorry. We have been looking for my keys more than an hour. I have been living without Netflix for 2 weeks. That's so shocking and depressing at the same time. We can't live without Netflix anymore, right? The episode hasn't been running for more than 10 minutes now. How long has she been working in the video clip? Okay? Simple as that. Remember the rules for ing? So work, you just add ing, working. Wait, you just add ing, waiting. Live ends in an E, right? So because live ends in an E, you have to drop out the E and put ing. Living with no E, only ing. Playing is okay, you just add ing. Learn, just add ing. Look, just add ing. Live, we've done that one already. Run, run has only one syllable and it follows the CVC rule. It is formed by consonant, vowel, consonant. So before you put ing, you must double the N, right? Running. Good morning, Luca. Okay. And work, you just add ing. Okay? Exercise 1, simple questions. Say it now or forever hold your peace. Okay. Gabriel, next. There you have the answers, okay, for exercise 1. And then you have 2 and 3 in advance. But that's okay. Gabriel, one more. There you go. Now for this one, you have to decide between present perfect simple or present perfect continuous. As we talked about last class, and as you could see from the answers that I showed in advance, many times you can use either or. You can use present perfect or present perfect continuous, especially in that scenario when you're talking about a situation that started in the past and continues up to the present. Both are acceptable. Okay? So there are situations when you can use either one or the other. Good morning, Cecily. So let's do this, okay? A, Judy. How long be in Canada? If you want to emphasize that she is still in Canada, then you are going to use present perfect continuous. But it is to emphasize, but you could use either or. So I could say, how long has she been living in Canada? Yes, as a question, how long has she been? How long has she been in Canada? There is no living there. How long has she been in Canada? And that would be it, because we already have the verb to be as the main verb, right? How long has she been in Canada? And Claude answers. And she's talking to Claude, so it's not she, right? It's not Judy. We're talking about Claude, and she's talking to Claude. So rewind. 2. A. Judy asks, how long have you been in Canada? How long have you been in Canada? And then Claude says, I have been studying here for more than 3 years. I have been studying here for more than 3 years. Okay? Just to emphasize that he is still there. B. The same car for more than 10 years. And the verb is have. So, I've had. Remember the stative verbs? Because have is a stative verb, you cannot put it in ing form because it is talking about possession. So I say, I've had the same car for more than 10 years. Gabriel, this is so hot. I'm starting to sweat. Okay, thank you. I've had the same car for more than 10 years. Now remember, think. Think, sometimes it's stative and sometimes it isn't. So, I've been thinking, because you are talking about considering. And when you use think as considering, you can use it in ing form. So, I've been thinking about buying a new one. Okay? Guys, if you have questions, don't be shy. Just type them in. Okay? I'm sorry, I'm sweating. And as you can see, my hair is naturally straight. So, I shouldn't worry about being sweaty, right? Girls, you understand my problem, right? I can't sweat because my hair is naturally straight. Okay, anyhow. Let's go to letter C. Good morning, Eduardo. Guys, questions? Type. C. I chocolate since I was a child. You might even call me a chocoholic. Remember that we said, yes, Louisa, when you're writing, and when it is a formal letter or a formal document, it's not advised that you use contractions. Okay? It's not advised. However, especially for Americans, contractions are so common. So I'd say for you to sound as formal and as polite as possible, don't use contractions. But I'm telling you this, and then you run into an applicant for college letter, and then you say, oh, but he used contractions. For Americans, it's very common. Sometimes they don't even pay attention in their contracting. Okay? Great question. So yes, it is informal to use I've had. You see, I'm sharing. My hair is straight. I cannot sweat. So, but now it's getting colder. One more thing I was going to point out is the word chocoholic, and I think we mentioned this before. In English, they use this suffix aholic to talk about any kind of addiction. So you have workaholics, shopaholics, alcoholics, chocoholics, and so on. So because love is a stative verb, remember, you cannot use in ing. So you say, I've loved chocolate since I was a child. You might even call me a chocoholic. Next, Matt and Sarah. Some difficulties in their relationships. So Matt and Sarah have had some difficulties in their relationships lately. Remember, we discussed that sometimes have is part of an expression, like have a date, have lunch, have difficulties. So in this scenario, you could say Matt and Sarah have been having some difficulties, okay? It would be acceptable. So they have been going to a marriage counselor. I hope they work everything out. E, John, for the government since he graduated from Harvard University. So John has been working for the government since he graduated from Harvard University. Until recently, he has enjoyed is a stative verb, so you shouldn't use it in ing form. Until recently, he has enjoyed his work, but now he's talking about retiring. F, lately, think about changing my career. Think as considering. ing, it's possible. So lately, I've been thinking about changing my career because I become is stative. So because I've become dissatisfied with the conditions at my company. And letter G, see is stative, but it isn't stative when you use see as a romantic relationship, right? When you are talking about seeing someone, meaning that you have a relationship with them. It's different from see because you are using your vision, right? Your sense of vision, okay? So in this scenario, you can use it in ing. So I have been seeing Judy for more than 5 years. And during the time, I have seen, and now it's see as the view, right? So have seen many changes in her personality. Okay, guys, I hope you remember what we talked about. Stative verbs, when you're talking about the senses, you see, you hear, you smell, those are stative verbs. And also when you're talking about feelings, right? Love, hate, enjoy, and so on. Those you cannot use in ing form, okay? So let's move on. Exercise 3, Gabriel. Exercise 3, I have to count on you guys. Interview a friend using the present perfect simple or the present perfect continuous. Write down your questions and his or her answers. So please, I'd like someone to type in a question. Any question using the present perfect simple or the present perfect continuous. I am counting on you. Please type in a question and I'm going to read it. I'm going to wait for you guys. Someone's going to do that for me, I'm sure. Come on. Where is Felipe? Felipe, come on. You were one of the first ones in. Where is André? I haven't seen André today. Is André still sleeping? André, do wake up, man. It's late already. We are 20 minutes into our class and I haven't seen you once. I'm waiting for a question. Come on, you guys. Anybody? Lucas, tá tudo funcionando, né? Okay, so I'm waiting for your question. Lucas tells me it's working. It's you guys that are not typing. So I'll wait. I'm not in any hurry, you guys. I'll wait on you. Come on. Come on, Luisa. Come on, Thais. Come on, girls. Help me out here. Don't leave me hanging. I'm feeling lonely. I'm waiting and waiting. By the end of the class today, we're going to play the Kahoot to measure your song knowledge, your knowledge of music. I'm going to give up on you guys because no one types anything for me. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to go, and then I'll quit. And then I'll go home because I do not admit this from you guys. No questions. And I'm waiting and waiting. Sitting, waiting, wishing. Do you know that song? By, what's his name? He's from Hawaii, isn't he? Jack Johnson. Sitting, waiting, wishing. That's my song here. I was sitting, waiting, wishing you believed in superstition. No? So I'm going to ask you the question, guys. So disappointed today. How long have you been studying from home? How long have you been studying from home? Considering that you are still studying from home, I can use the present perfect continuous, right? How long have you been studying from home? And to answer, can you answer me? Lucas, it's not working. No messages. Okay. So, we've been studying from home for 4 months now, right? Beginning on May 17th, I think. Thank you, Lucia. I counted on you. What have you been doing on the weekends? Now you guys, someone answer. What have you been doing on the weekends? Me? I have been listening to a lot of music. I have been preparing materials for the week. And I have been spending time with my family, right? Now we are starting to do some things on the outsides, like riding bikes on the park, but this is very recent, from like the last couple of weeks, right? Anyone else would care to answer Ana Luisa's question? I'm going to give up on this, you guys. Thank you, Luisa, for answering, for typing in your question. And let's move on. Gabriel, let's move on. Next. Okay, this is something that we should have seen last class, right? So we are a little behind on the schedule. Hopefully, we're going to update it today. But other than that, I'm going to change something from next week so that we can fit everything, okay? But we were going to see last class these linking words used to express addition. So the same way it happens in Portuguese, there is more than one way for you to add ideas in a sentence, right? So when you have ideas, opinions that go together, you are going to use a linking word that expresses addition. Why am I saying that go together? Because if you are really talking about cause and consequence, then it's not an addition linking word. If you are mentioning good aspects, but then you decide to mention a bad aspect, it's not an addition linking word you're going to use, okay? So when you use words for addition, it's because the ideas you're mentioning, they go on the same train of thought. They hold the same general purpose. If I am listing things I'm going to buy at the grocery shop, when I am putting something else, adding something else, I am going to use a word that expresses addition, right? Because they go together. If I am talking about the people that are going to come for my birthday party and I want to talk about someone else, addition. If I am mentioning all the reasons why I love living in Fortaleza, one more idea, I'm going to use an addition linking word. If I am considering all the options I have for college, an addition linking word. Okay? So, you have a list of linking words that are used to add information. I'm going to read each one. They have like specific characteristics, when to use, where to use, and we're going to go through. I think we'll go through quickly because I think you guys know and know how to use them. But if you have any questions, then you let me know. Okay? So first of all, the most common one is and. Like in Portuguese, right? The most common one is e. So the same thing in English. The most common one is and. An example, he loves music. He plays the guitar, the bass, and the drums. I am mentioning musical instruments. To add another one, I say and the drums. Okay? That's it. Simple as that. It could be also between sentences, not necessarily to add a noun. For example, like I was saying, I love living in Fortaleza because, then it's not and, right? Because I am giving a reason. I love living in Fortaleza because the city is not that big, but not that small, and there is a lot of things to do. Okay? Okay, good morning, Bia. So that's and. Also, you use between the subject and the verb. For example, someone says, I love studying English. And I say, I also love studying English. I am adding one more person that loves studying English. So the idea is of addition. But I place it between the subject and the verb, right? To emphasize that it is one more person that does the same thing. Okay? If you say, I play the drums. John also plays the drums. He's someone else who plays the drums as well. So it is an addition. And you use it between the subject and the verb. The example there, she is also good at math. And then they used an example with the verb to be, which doesn't really go between the subject and the verb, right? You say, she is also good at math. So she is good at many things. She is also good at math. Here, pay attention that despite it doesn't match the example, we are going to have a different idea. Let me see if you guys understand this. Remember, I was saying when I say, I also like that, I am saying that I am adding one person that likes the same thing, right? When I say she is also good at math, I am not adding one more person that is good at math. No, I am adding one more thing that she is good at. See that it is different? If I said she also is good at math, I would be adding someone else. But if I say she is also good at math, it means that she is good at English and she is also good at math. See the difference? Yes? Okay. Next. Oh, no, go back. Go back. My mistake, I'm sorry. As well, it's used in the end of the sentence, and you are adding something, right? So, I can play the drums, the flute, and I can play the guitar as well. So you're using the and to add an idea, okay? The example there, he can dance and play football as well. As well as, it can be used in the beginning of the sentence or halfway through the sentence. He can dance as well as play football, okay? Or as well as dancing, he can play football. Besides, it's generally used at the start of sentences. Besides singing very well, she prefers playing the drums in the band. So she can do both things. Aside from that, besides doing one, she can also do the other. Furthermore, Luis, is very formal. For that same situation, we're not contracting our verbs, you can use furthermore. It's used in the beginning of sentences, and it is more formal. So I say, we know that eating healthy food and exercising is good for our life. Furthermore, both must be done, followed by a doctor. In addition to start to add an information to the previous sentence. In addition to speaking English, he speaks 3 other languages. Moreover, also formal, used in the beginning of sentences. You have an idea and you are adding the second idea, so you use moreover in the beginning. We know that eating healthy food and exercising is good to our life. Moreover, both must be done, followed by a doctor. It's the same sentence of furthermore, right? They use the 2 formal expressions in the same sentence. Not only, but also. It's also in addition. And you're emphasizing that when you say not only, but also, you're saying like, this is already so much, but this isn't everything. There is even more. So it's a way of emphasizing the addition. Okay? So, she plans to study not only English, but also Spanish next semester. So you see, the idea is that studying English was already a lot, but she still wants to pass that. She wants to go beyond that. And 2, generally used at the end of the sentence. He plays handball too. So he also plays handball. Okay? Okay, you guys? Everything okay so far? I'm sure you know all of these. One thing that I wanted to mention about to is that when it's used at the end of the sentence, it expresses in addition. But remember that you can also use to as an adverb before an adjective. Like I can say, Fortaleza is too hot. And when I use to as an adverb before an adjective, it always holds the idea of too much, more than I would expect. So if I say that someone is too beautiful, it doesn't mean that I am complimenting the person. It is already a criticism. I'm saying they are more beautiful than I would appreciate. Do you understand it? So whenever I use to before an adjective, it means that that adjective is going overboard. It's way too much of that. Okay? So I can say Fortaleza is too hot. If I use Fortaleza is very hot, maybe I think it's good. I like it being hot. But when I say Fortaleza is too hot, the idea is already of more than I would like. Okay? Now, Gabriel, next. There you go. So complete with the best linking word. In some sentences, more than one answer is possible. You could see that in some scenarios, you can use one or the other, right? So maybe there is more than one possibility. But I'm going to wait for your answers, okay? So help me out here. What do you think could be used? She works a lot. Being a singer, she works as a volunteer teacher. What could we use there? I won't wait long because, like I said, this is from the previous class and we're trying to put things up to date, right? So it could be besides being a singer, she works as a volunteer teacher, right? Could I use anything else? As well as being a singer, she works as a volunteer teacher. So more than one. Just like Jonathan, Margie studies a lot too. Learning English is important for your professional life. Furthermore, it is good for your personal life. Moreover, it is good for your personal life. Besides, it is good for your personal life, and so on. Learning English, you should try other languages. Besides learning English, you should try other languages. My daughter is a lactose, gluten, eggs, and fish intolerant. Oh my God. Poor thing. She has to be more than vegan, right? Because she can't even eat gluten. Okay. Anyway, being an actress, she is a successful director. Besides being an actress, she's a successful director. I have the feeling I'm forgetting other options besides it's stuck in my head. Any help will do. I love photography, and I also am interested in arts. And I could say, and I am also interested in arts. It would even sound more natural. I love photography, and I am also interested in arts. Sounds even better, but I also am interested in arts. Besides, you see, besides it's stuck. Besides visiting Barcelona, she has also visited Madrid and Bilbao. The kids need to study for the exams, but they need some rest too. What else do we use at the end? There was one more that we could use at the end. Gabriel, can you just go back one? Não, volta Volta uma. What else do we use at the end? As well. As well could be used too. Perfect. So the kids need to study for the exams, but they need some rest as well. Besides being a professional, she is an amazing mother. Okay, you guys? Okay, Gabriel, now next. No, next. Yes, there you go. Okay, you see, you have more than one option for many of them. As well as, in addition to, besides, I didn't remember in addition to. I didn't use any. But where you can put besides, you can pretty much use in addition to as well. Okay? Okay, Gabriel, next. There you go. So now, guys, I had assigned some of these additional exercises for you to practice. It is also going to be partly homework. I just want us to go over some reading exercises as much as possible, because since you guys are getting ready for taking college entrance examinations, right? Vestibulares in general. In English, we would say college entrance examinations. Because you guys are getting ready for college entrance examinations, all exercises on reading are important. So we're going to practice them as much as possible, okay? But, like I said, this is additional. You guys do it as homework later. I am not going to prepare a moment in our class to correct them, since you guys have the key, the answer key for that. But if you feel like there's something I didn't quite understand, you can ask me, and then I go over the exercise you had doubts, okay? Anyway, I decided to work with you guys on this particular text because it talks about a very significant and up-to-date topic, which is the wall between the USA and Mexico that Trump promised, right? Trump promised he was going to put a wall between the countries, and it's a very controversial topic because we know that even though many people don't agree with it, there is a group of Americans, and a strong group of Americans, that think this is necessary to help the natives in the country, right? So it is a controversial topic. It was one of Trump's promises as he got elected. It is part of his agenda, right? And you know that agenda in English has a whole different meaning than agenda in Portuguese. Agenda means the stuff you have planned to do. So when you are talking about politics, an agenda is the topics you must refer to. It's not completely different because there is when you writing in your diary what you're going to do every day, that would be part of your agenda, but it's not agenda as it is the paper. It is agenda and it is the idea, the topics you have to address. So it was part of Trump's agenda when he got elected, the fact that he promised to build this wall, right? So we're going to read a text on that topic. I'm going to read it very quickly, and then we're going to go over the questions, okay? If you have any questions throughout the reading, you guys just type in. So, for most, the Gateway International Bridge functions as it should, allowing people to get between the U.S. and Mexico. But on a hot Sunday afternoon, a dozen migrants at the mouth of the bridge weren't getting anywhere at all. They had been told once again to wait. At a press conference the next day, President Trump once again touted the border wall he has promised supporters. The wall is getting longer and taller and stronger each and every day, he said, even though construction has not begun. The president's characterization of the physical wall was false, but his administration has effectively erected an invisible one. It is built in part from situations like the one at the bridge, which illustrates the problem with this kind of barrier. The practices that Trump praises for keeping out criminals also punish those who are trying to follow the rules. Those migrants who spoke to Time at the bridge had varied stories, but shared a determination to cross. Some understood a bit of what could happen to them next. How long could it take to get processed? And if they did ultimately apply for asylum, it remained to be seen whether their stories would qualify. The regulations governing such matters are complicated, and the vast majority who apply are rejected. But in theory, their fates would be decided at immigrant courts, not at the border. Okay? So this is the text. So one of the most crucial ideas here is that even though you can see a wall as a physical structure, the wall is there. Because migrating from Mexico to U.S. has become more and more difficult, and lots of people are stopped at the bridge and can't cross it, meaning that there is a wall, an invisible one, but there is, okay? So please, Gabriel, to the exercises. So exercises 1, 2, 3, and 4 are from FUVEST, and we're going to discuss it very quickly before we go to the break, okay? So number 1. And the question is in Portuguese, but I'm going to read it in English, okay? I'm going to try to translate it. So, according to the text, to enter the USA, the border crossing between the country and Mexico in a place called the Gateway International Bridge is dificultado para alguns migrantes, negado para casos de reincidentes. Nothing is mentioned about the fact that you have tried once or more than once. Adiado para os migrantes que seguem as regras. They mention that it happens, it's difficult for everyone, right? Not only the ones who follow the rules, but for everyone. Conditioned to the nationality of the person requesting. We know they're talking about Mexico and the U.S., but the fact that they are Mexicans, the nationality isn't really mentioned here. It's free for migrants with valid documents, and we read that no. Sometimes you have the valid documents and still you're going to wait a lot, right? So the correct answer would be letter A, okay? 2, the sentence, this kind of barrier refers to the wall, Trump's wall at the border with Mexico, the Gateway International Bridge, even though the Gateway International Bridge is where the situation takes place, the barrier is not necessarily the bridge. Migrants' protests at the border, there's nothing mentioned about protests at the border. The invisible wall created by Trump's government practices. Yes, and we see this is why letter A is wrong, right? Because there isn't actually a wall, so, and it's the invisible wall. And letter E, the measures that are taken in the migration courts, in the immigration courts. Even though they mention that these courts exist, they are not the focus, right? So not letter E. So we go to letter D as the right one. 3, according to the text, after entering the U.S., the migrants that require asylum, so this is mentioned, they are saying that you're never sure you're going to enter, not even when you request the asylum. So they have a process judged quickly? No, not at all. They need to prove that they are idoneous. This is not the case. They're saying that either way it might be delayed. They wait at the border for their petition to be evaluated. They have to do some waiting, right? They are more determined to stay in the country. This is neither here nor there. They have their request denied frequently. We know they have to wait, right? The process doesn't go as quickly as expected, and they have to wait at the border. So this is what we're sure of. Okay? And finally, number 4, based on the text and on the facts that involve the immigration policies, the U.S. in June of 2008, it is correct to affirm. Now this one we have to read longer texts and put something into consideration. So let's take a pause now, and then when we get back, we're just going to finish exercise 4, okay? And one thing that amazed me about exercise 4 is that they emphasize your general knowledge on the matter, because they say not only according to the text, but based on the facts that you are aware of. So you must be aware of the facts. Okay, you guys, let's take a pause. See you in 15 minutes, okay? Bye-bye.